the memo madness and memo mayhem in Washington, D.C., the Democrats' rebuttal to the GOP FISA abuse memo. It alleges FBI surveillance abuses. The Democrat memo now on the president's desk after the House Intelligence Committee unanimously voted to make it public. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders just moments ago saying that, yes, the president has seen it. The president now has 5 business days to decide whether to allow its release, to declassify it. And Democrats on the Intel Committee shedding some light on the details. Watch.
Ours bolsters the credibility of the FBI to point out that they actually did go through the correct process, that a voluminous amount of evidence was presented to the FISA court, that they mischaracterized Andy McCabe's testimony to our committee, also that they did disclose to the court that there was a political motivation of one of the witnesses in a much larger package that was submitted.
Joining me now, former Republican Senator of South Carolina, Senator Jim DeMint. Good to see you, Senator.
Liz, good to be with you.
What do you think of the Democrat counter memo? Should everything be made public and let the public decide?
You know, we've been talking about Russia for over a year since the election. The only connection that we found is the Clinton campaign and the Democrat Party paying Russia to dig up dirt on Trump, and then that information was used to get warrants to spy on his campaign. So far, we haven't heard anything about any collusion or coordination between the Trump campaign and Russia. So I think this is getting more and more ludicrous as we go along. And the dueling memos, it doesn't make it any better, but it's starting to make the whole thing look silly.
It looks ridiculous. It looks like a memo food fight in Washington, D.C. I mean, we notice is that whether or not the Democrats are disputing the basic facts of the Republicans' memo. Okay, here's what's going on, Senator. The Democrats are now trying to say that FISA application to spy on Carter Page did, in fact, cite a political entity as a source. Senator, that's rather weak. It didn't mention the Democrats or the Clinton campaign specifically paid for it. Didn't say those names either. What do you think?
Well, you're exactly right. They're kind of majoring on a very small point. But in most court cases, if the evidence is collected illegally, the case is thrown out. So I would hope as this thing continues to go that everyone's going to see the writing on the wall, that the whole idea of the special prosecutor now makes no sense at all. If they want to look into something, they need to look into the Clinton campaign. And Liz, if you go all the way back to the beginning, Russia would be stupid to have wanted Donald Trump as president. They didn't believe he'd be president. Hillary Clinton had given them everything they wanted as Secretary of State. This whole thing makes no sense from the very beginning.
But Hillary she was about the Ukraine, and Putin apparently didn't like her stance in the Obama administration's position in the Ukraine, right?
Well, a couple of things, but basically Obama and Clinton reestablished Russia as a world power and Putin as a world leader. And no one can argue with that if you look at the facts over the 8 years. So the idea that they would have wanted a stronger president, I don't think so.
You know, listen, Bob Mueller is a hero. He's a former Marine who was shot in the Vietnam War. He's an upstanding guy. Trey Gowdy saying Mueller's probe should continue, that the Republican memo should not have an impact on the Mueller probe. But, you know, the thing about the Democrats' memo, I thought the Democrats were screaming about the FISA Republican memo that there's a national security issue, but now that's not an issue for Democrats to release their memo? What's going on?
Well, there's a lot of hypocrisy, and again, they're just avoiding the main issue. We need to finish this investigation and go on with the business of the country. I mean, talking about Russia right now is ridiculous with all the issues we have to deal with: the deficit, the spending, the potential close down, a shutdown of the government. There's so much to do, and this is a ridiculous distraction. We need to finish it up and put it behind us.
And Senator, you know what the report to watch is? The Inspector General of the Justice Department. He's going to basically lay out in possible graphic detail Jim Comey, Strzok, and McCabe's abuses at the IRS. That's the report to watch, right, Senator?
Yes, it is. I think hopefully this will happen soon, and we can put this behind us. Okay. We've been talking about Russia way too long.
Senator, it's great to see you. We love having you on. Please come back soon. Terrific stuff.
Liz.
Thank you so much.